Steve here again with SSI. Got a little update on the centering scope project. The last time you've seen it, the pieces were long, the acrylic pieces anyway, were real long, just like this one on the 3/8 side of things. So this is a 3/8 acrylic, these two hold 1/2 inch acrylic. Well, I noticed in the shots that I didn't get a very good image, and some of you might be having the same issue, so I've got a little update here that might help you out. So I've taken the acrylics out of these two and I've changed the design a little bit. With this one, I went ahead and did a radius at the end of it. So this one has a 1/2 sphere shape, and I was going to try it out and see if I liked it any better. So I cut the acrylic down to a little bit shorter piece because I wanted to try to bring the focal point or the image to a more clear position. It also seems to be a little bit favorable of keeping the mirrors clean. That's one of the issues I had with this one. So on one of these, I did this 1/2 sphere shape to see if the focal point would be a little bit clearer. On the other one, I just went ahead and cut the acrylic real short, just basically to the size of this, and maybe even a little bit shorter, so the image would be a little bit clearer at the bottom. And this one I cut just the same length as this one, because what I worry about with this, if you're this close, you may not be able to get into a certain area, so I cut one a little bit longer to go in a different centering, in this centering scope. I'm going to show you the images in all three pieces, but I want to do this one first, then I'm going to change it with this one, then we'll look at this one and see which one looks best. I would say with the naked eye, that's the part you're looking for. Okay, here's the sphere inside of this. So what I've done on the part is I put an X, I put a pin prick, then this is what I used to adjust it, was this one here underneath the sphere. So just by looking at it, this distance, at least you can see the image is a little more clear. And as we bring it in, you can see the crosshairs there in the center. And what I don't like about this one is the foggy image, because the sphere shape seems to make it a little bit cloudy. So I'm going to swap this one out with that longer X piece, the one I just put a X on it. And I put a little divot in the center to see if that would help any, as far as trying to cover up that hole, maybe to help align it a little bit better. But I did this one in an X shape, as you can tell, and it's okay. The image is a little bit clear, but you can see around it how it's distorted a little bit. Thought I'd give it a shot to see what it'd look like. Okay, now I've just replaced the one with the sphere with the little bit longer flat at both ends, but it's shorter, so maybe it would keep the image a little more clear. And that's about the distance that I've got it away. So let's see what it looks like. So that's a lot better. So I'm going to take it a little bit closer. So here it is, a little bit closer. Now I've got it really close to the part. Okay, I still got a little bit of polishing left to do on the top of that. But what I wanted to see is I move this piece, I want to be able to capture each individual hole or mark or line or whatever. I want to be able to see it a little clearer. So there's the little pin prick that I put into it. So the next one should be the line, the crosshair. There it is. So with the naked eye, it should be a little easier to see as it goes by. So I'm going to swap out to the one with a little bitty short piece of acrylic, and we'll see what that one looks like underneath the camera here. Okay, here's the one with the little piece of short acrylic. You can see I've got it pretty close to the part. Just a little bit of a gap there. And it seems like the image and get it to focus. Just a little more lined up. There we go. So you can see the image is a little bit sharper. And there's the crosshair right there. So we'll run over to the little pin mark. Whoops, that's off to the edge. So there's the crosshair right there. Now we'll run to the little pin mark. So far this one seems to have the clearest image. And there's the little drill mark that I used at the beginning to center everything up. So the shorter the acrylic it seems, the better off that you're going to be being able to make it out or see it. With clarity. So that's what I wanted to show you. Just in case you were having trouble with the length of acrylic or what length to use or whatever, then I think the shortest piece that you can get a hold of is probably the best. Like I said, I made this one just as long as this piece. So in the future, if you wanted to make this a lot shorter, you could always take this distance down by you could always take and remove a lot of this distance. Have the piece right here, have the mirror basically right behind it. And one thing I'm thinking about doing in the future is not making this out of a 1-inch block. So this distance would actually be a little bit thicker. That way I could scoot the mirror down and have the hole more centered with the mirror. The drill hole all the way through would still be the same. You'd have to do it all in one shot, but you could take this gap here out a little bit and maybe make a little bit deeper of an angle cut, so you can take this mirror and actually move it that direction to be basically the center of your mirror to the center of your hole. Because right now you really have to It's really close to the bottom of the mirror, the image is. So this needs to be changed a little bit for this larger acrylic. With the 3/8 it seems to work pretty good, but with the 1/2 inch acrylic I think it could be better. And the same deal with the adjustments on the back. So this one on the front is down here, the one in the back is up here, and I would do the same on the sides, so you can get that whole adjustment like you need. So just a little bit of food for thought for the future of this little project. I'm actually working on a different design to make it just a little bit differently. So I'm going to be working on that, also with all the other projects that I've got coming to the show. So stay with me. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll keep you updated on any changes of this little project in the future. Thanks for watching.